I'm just kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life, but
The silence that followed was deafening, as thousands of fans watched in horror, while the WNBA's brightest star lay motionless on the hardwood floor. The moment that every basketball fan feared most had finally arrived. Caitlin Clark, the player who single-handedly transformed women's basketball into must-see television, was down and not getting back up. The injury occurred during what should have been a routine play, but the aftermath revealed the fragile nature of athletic careers and how quickly everything can change in professional sports. But what really happened in those terrifying moments? How do injuries like this affect not just individual players, but entire leagues that depend on superstar power? The shockwaves from this incident could reshape the WNBA's future and force difficult conversations about player safety that the league never wanted to have. The reality of injuries in professional basketball is a constant concern that affects every player, team, and organization in the WNBA. The sport's high-intensity nature, frequent contact, and demanding schedule create numerous opportunities for both acute injuries during games and chronic issues that develop over time. Players like Caitlin Clark face particular risks due to their central role in team offenses and the increased defensive attention they receive from opponents. During her rookie season, Clark played in 40 regular season games, demonstrating remarkable durability for a player adjusting to the professional level. However, the physical demands of WNBA competition differ significantly from college basketball. With a longer season, more travel, and opponents who are uniformly elite athletes, the adjustment to professional basketball often reveals vulnerabilities that weren't apparent during collegiate careers. The Indiana Fever's medical staff has consistently monitored Clark's physical condition throughout her professional career, implementing load management strategies and recovery protocols designed to minimize injury risks while maintaining peak performance. These measures include specialized training programs, nutrition planning, and careful monitoring of practice and game minutes to prevent overuse injuries. Questions arise about how the intense media attention and pressure surrounding Clark might affect her approach to injury management and recovery. The commercial success and fan expectations tied to her presence create unique pressures that could influence decisions about playing through minor injuries or returning from more serious conditions before full recovery is complete. Basketball injuries can range from minor sprains and strains that require only brief rest to career-threatening conditions that demand extensive rehabilitation and potentially surgical intervention. The most common basketball injuries include ankle sprains, knee injuries, finger dislocations, and various muscle strains that can occur during the rapid direction changes and physical contact inherent in professional basketball. Knee injuries represent perhaps the most serious concern for basketball players, as the joint bears significant stress during jumping, cutting, and landing movements that are fundamental to the sport. ACL tears, meniscus damage, and other knee problems can require months of rehabilitation and may affect a player's long-term performance even after successful recovery. The WNBA has implemented various safety measures and protocols designed to reduce injury risks and improve player welfare throughout the league. These include strict guidelines for court conditions, equipment standards, and medical personnel requirements that ensure consistent safety standards across all team facilities and game venues. Player safety initiatives also extend to rule modifications and officiating emphasis designed to reduce unnecessary contact and protect players from dangerous plays. The league continues to evaluate and adjust these measures based on injury data and evolving understanding of how to make basketball safer while preserving the competitive integrity of the sport. Sports medicine experts note that modern basketball places different physical demands on players compared to previous generations, with increased emphasis on three-point shooting, faster pace of play, and year-round training that can create both opportunities and risks for player health and performance. The psychological impact of witnessing serious injuries affects not only the injured player, but also teammates, opponents, and fans who observe these traumatic events. The immediate emotional response to seeing a beloved player injured can create lasting effects that influence how people view and enjoy the sport they love. For teammates, witnessing a serious injury to a star player like Clark can create anxiety about their own vulnerability and affect their confidence and performance on the court. The knowledge that careers can end in an instant adds psychological pressure to an already demanding professional environment. Fan reactions to player injuries often include both immediate concern for the athlete's well-being and worry about how the injury might affect their favorite team's prospects. The emotional investment that fans develop in individual players makes injuries particularly difficult to process and accept. The financial implications of star player injuries extend far beyond individual salaries to include effects on team revenue, league viewership, and the broader commercial ecosystem that depends on basketball's entertainment value. Clark's presence has generated unprecedented revenue for the Indiana Fever and increased WNBA visibility nationwide. Ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and television viewership all depend partly on the presence and performance of marquee players like Clark. Serious injuries that sideline such players for extended periods can have cascading effects on team finances and league-wide commercial success. Insurance policies for professional athletes help protect teams and leagues from some financial risks associated with player injuries, but the broader economic impact often extends beyond what insurance can cover. The loss of star power affects marketing campaigns, sponsorship deals, and long-term business planning. The medical response to basketball injuries has evolved significantly with advances in sports medicine, diagnostic technology, and rehabilitation techniques. Modern treatment approaches often allow for faster and more complete recovery from injuries that might have been career-ending in previous eras. Team medical staffs now include specialists in various fields, including orthopedics, physical therapy, sports psychology, and nutrition who work together to optimize player health and recovery. The integration of these different disciplines provides comprehensive care that addresses all aspects of injury prevention and treatment. Recovery timelines for basketball injuries vary widely depending on the specific injury, the player's age and conditioning, and their adherence to rehabilitation protocols. Modern medicine has shortened recovery times for many common injuries, while improving long-term outcomes and reducing the risk of re-injury. The role of technology in injury prevention and treatment continues to expand, with wearable devices that monitor player movement and fatigue, advanced imaging techniques that provide detailed injury assessment, and rehabilitation equipment that speeds recovery while ensuring proper healing. Load management has become a controversial but important aspect of modern professional basketball, as teams attempt to balance competitive performance with long-term player health. The strategy involves carefully managing practice time, game minutes, and rest periods to prevent overuse injuries and extend career longevity. Critics of load management argue that it reduces the entertainment value of basketball and disappoints fans who expect to see star players in every game. However, medical experts generally support the practices necessary for maintaining player health throughout long professional careers. The implementation of load management strategies requires careful coordination between medical staff, coaching personnel, and front office executives, who must balance immediate competitive needs with long-term player welfare and career sustainability. Data analytics now play a significant role in load management decisions, with teams using detailed statistical analysis to identify fatigue patterns, injury risks, and optimal rest schedules for individual players based on their unique physical characteristics and playing styles. The WNBA's approach to player health and safety continues to evolve as the league grows in popularity and commercial success. Increased revenue allows for better medical facilities, more comprehensive healthcare coverage, and enhanced safety protocols that protect player welfare. League-wide injury surveillance programs help identify trends and risk factors that can inform safety improvements and rule modifications designed to reduce injury rates. This data-driven approach allows the WNBA to make evidence-based decisions about player safety measures. Collaboration with medical researchers and sports science experts provides the WNBA with access to cutting-edge knowledge about injury prevention and treatment. These partnerships help ensure that league policies reflect the latest understanding of athlete health and safety. The balance between competitive intensity and player safety remains an ongoing challenge for professional sports leagues, as fans expect high-level competition while also caring about athlete welfare. The WNBA must navigate these competing interests while maintaining the sport's excitement and entertainment value. Recovery and rehabilitation from basketball injuries often require extended periods away from competition, during which players must maintain physical fitness while allowing injured tissues to heal properly. The mental and emotional challenges of this process can be as difficult as the physical aspects of recovery. Support systems for injured players include not only medical personnel, but also sports psychologists, teammates, coaches, and family members who help maintain motivation and positive attitude during difficult recovery periods. The quality of these support systems often influences recovery outcomes and return to play success. The decision about when to return to competition after injury involves careful evaluation of physical healing, functional capacity, and psychological readiness. Premature return risks re-injury and long-term complications, while excessive caution can affect career momentum and team performance. Modern rehabilitation programs emphasize not just healing from injury, but also addressing any underlying physical issues that may have contributed to the initial injury. This comprehensive approach helps reduce the risk of future problems and often results in players returning stronger than before their injuries. Media coverage of player injuries reflects the public's intense interest in athlete welfare, while also potentially creating additional pressure on injured players and their medical teams. The balance between public information and player privacy requires careful consideration from all involved parties. Social media has transformed how injury news spreads and how fans react to athlete health issues. The immediate and widespread nature of social media communication can amplify both support for injured players and speculation about their conditions and recovery prospects. Responsible reporting about player injuries requires understanding of medical terminology, recovery processes, and the difference between speculation and confirmed medical information. Accurate coverage helps fans understand the situation while avoiding unnecessary anxiety or false hope. The long-term impact of serious injuries on player careers varies significantly depending on the specific injury, the quality of treatment and rehabilitation, and the player's age and physical condition at the time of injury. Some players return to full competitive ability, while others may face permanent limitations. Career planning for professional athletes must account for the possibility of injury and the potential need for alternative career paths. Education, skill development, and financial planning become particularly important for athletes whose careers can end unexpectedly due to injury. The support provided to players whose careers end due to injury includes not only immediate medical care but also assistance with career transition, continuing education, and psychological adjustment to life after professional sports. These comprehensive support programs help ensure positive long-term outcomes for former athletes. Looking toward the future, continued advances in sports medicine, injury prevention technology, and player safety protocols offer hope for reducing injury risks while maintaining the competitive excitement that makes basketball compelling to fans worldwide. The goal remains protecting athlete welfare while preserving the sport's entertainment value and competitive integrity. If you're as concerned about player safety in basketball as we are, go ahead and like this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How do you think leagues should balance competitive intensity with player health? What role should fans play in supporting injured athletes during their recovery? We want to hear your perspective on how professional sports can better protect their most valuable assets, the athletes themselves. Then, hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our coverage of player health and safety issues that affect the sports we love. Thanks for watching.